Alrighty, legends, welcome on in to another AFL26 video. Now, today we are going through some of the suggestions that you guys have left me. Before we get started, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and make sure you chuck those notifications on so that you can be updated whenever another AFL26 video drops. And also, AFL26 is dropping on, I think it's this image here, the 8th of May, so make sure you come and watch the live streams. I'll be live that day. I'm taking the day off work. But basically today, one of the things that I wanted to go through with you guys is I've put out a video a couple of days ago. No AFL26 teasers yet. And I basically said in that video, please leave me your suggestions for things that you want to see in AFL26 and things that you are hopeful for. And we've had a lot of suggestions from that. So I want to thank every single person that did get around that video. Everyone that liked it, everyone that commented it. Thank you so much. It means so much. Let's get into it now. This is going to be quite a long video, so I left a comment up here and said make sure you leave suggestions here to be featured in the next video. Don't forget, hit the like button to follow. Appreciate you guys. Anyway, let's get into it. So I'm going to be looking slightly off screen here to read, and yeah, I'll have the comments up here. So Kate Taylor 7641 said, I would like to see a mechanic where your players can request trades out of your club in management mode. This can come from variables like contract expiry, home state, the amount of AFL game time, etc. This can also apply through players leaving via free agency. Also, I would like to see club-orientated awards, such as best and fairest clubs for best 22 for that year. I really like those ideas already. I think that they should add in like variables to this. Contract expiry would be great, and like the closer it gets to the contract expiry, I would like to see like frustration levels build up or something. A home state like percentage, like how bad they want to go home, and things that you could do to sway them to stay. Amount of AFL game time as well. I really do like if they're a seasoned veteran player and they're not getting enough game time. Love that. And club-orientated awards, I feel like, should be in it. You should have a best and fairest. So, basically, that's all the one you really need to do. If you have a leading goal kicker, it's pretty simple. They're leading the goal kicking. But a best and fairest, like, would be absolutely cool to have. Even if it's just like an email, at the end of the season, like so-and-so wins the best and fairest award. Great work, Taylor. Kate. Love that. Love the award idea. Let's hit that reply button. Thank you so much. I've tried to like everybody's comment basically to remind myself to read these out. But anyway, Nick Glazer, we've said, I think they really need to try and get the little things right this time, such as even the grass. AFL Evo 2 did a good job of actually making you feel like you were playing at the MCG. Like blockbuster games and how crowds react. You could kick a goal after the siren and nothing really happens. There's so many things that add to the realism of the game, like the AI's choices, like actually trying to touch the ball when someone's kicking for goal. Hopefully AFL26 is a lot better, but hoping to see a trailer this week. I absolutely agree with everything he just said. I agree with the grass thing. I agree with the end of the game. Like if a AI is 55 metres out and they're down by 2 points, they're just going to look to pass the ball and the game's over. It's so silly. I don't know why the AI can't kick a torp from 55 metres and try and kick a goal to win the game. I think that should be absolutely a part of the game. Really, really does my head in that. I agree with a lot of the things you've said here. When someone's kicking for goal, they do punch it over the line a lot in AFL 23. But yeah, I do agree. I agree 100% with what you've said. Hoping to see a trailer this week. We can all hope so. Shout out to Boo Designs, my main man on TikTok and Instagram and stuff like that. Hopefully his face is healing up. I saw he had a nasty accident at the footy the last week or so. So hopefully you heal up quickly, brother. A higher risk reward for Speckies. Free kick against the man in front. Spoils, etc. Would love to also see both team lineups displayed in the loading screen before the game. Yes, I 100% agree with that. That is like such a staple thing for an AFL game, and I don't know why it wasn't put in this one. They they have the technology to do it because they did it for Pro Team. At the start of each Pro Team, you would see the lineup, the players that each team had. Even if it's similar to that, like you could have like a little, like not a card, but you could have like a little set box that has, Todd Goldstein, ruck, whatever. Yeah, I don't know. I 100% agree with everything you've said there, Boot, and I don't understand why that wasn't put in the game to begin with. I like the free kick, like occasionally maybe just do like a high or a push in the back sort of thing. the random push in the backs in AFL23 does my head in. I wish that they would be in like a marking contest, or if there was like a lead, that would be cool. Again, probably very hard to program into the game, but I 100% agree with you, Bood. And high risk reward for speckies. If you don't take the mark, it's a free kick, and there's got to be a percentage generated chance that, you know, either or could happen, sort of thing. 100% agree with you, Bud, and I hope that the face heals up very quickly. All right, we've got TF22 Raptor. He says, game in development for 2 years since the last one. We haven't seen anything from the studio. Making it 10 days before launch means only one thing, that they aren't proud of their work. Expecting it to be AFL23 with updated player skins, different mechanics for marking, and that's about it. Expectations are rock bottom, but I'll still support them being an Oz developer. Just hoping they've improved gameplay so that it's finally enjoyable to actually play. I agree with everything you've said there as well. I'm a bit more optimistic than you are, I think, about them not putting anything out. I think they might have learnt from 23, and they might have decided, look, this time let's just not build any hype around it and just continue to work on it. And when we do drop it, it's actually going to be good. I think that it would be a mistake to hype it up again, and if it's nowhere near the end product of AFL23, then they're just going to get absolutely shit canned all over again. So I think that you're right in the fact that we should still support an Aussie developer, but at the same time, if it's not as good as we all would expect, then they don't deserve to get all of our hard-earned money, especially in the economy that, you know, this day and age sort of thing. So yeah, hopefully you are wrong. Hopefully you are very wrong, and hopefully it's a sick game to play. I appreciate your comment, Raptor. Thank you so much, my dude. Let's move on to baseline sounds. Highly unlikely, but I'd love to have a mode where you could play iconic and recreate wins in AFL history. I read that the other way around. I don't know why. You could do one for each team and start with different times left, etc. Second half of the Brisbane Miracle on grass, or the last 5 minutes of the West Coast 2018 Grand Final. The only issue would be licensing and accurate rosters from previous years. Regardless, a mode like this would be pretty cool. I agree with you. I've just liked that for you. Baseline as well. Love it. I did state that in one of my other videos that I would love to do this. One of the things that AFL Live Premiership Edition did very well was they recreated the scenario with the current day list. So it said something, I can't remember exactly what it said, and I should probably go and find the footage of it. But it basically just, in 2003 or 2004, you had those lists. And I remember playing the 97 prelim at the MCG against the Bulldogs, and you have to come back from 29 points down at three-quarter time. One of the best prelim comebacks in a long time. I like the idea of having the old players in the team, but also like what I've been doing with the grand finals on my YouTube. Like, I'm happy just to replay the scenario with the current day teams, although it would be sick to have the 2018 teams, you know, for the 2018 grand final, etc., etc. But I just don't think they're going to have enough time, energy, and effort to get in all these old players into the teams. I would be quite happy having these scenarios to play with the current day teams, teleported back in time, sort of thing, like I do with the grand finals. Love the idea though, baseline. Hopefully, it's maybe something that they could have in the future that, you know, that works out really well for the consumer, for us. So yeah. Thanks for your comment, man. I really appreciate it. Setho8833. I reckon they should add a local league for after or before your player retires. I love that too. I think if you have a career mode, you should either play... I would love it if you could play amateurs. So like in South Australia here, we've got the South Australian Amateur Football League. There's a couple of well-known teams like Goodwood Saints and stuff like that. It would be amazing if those teams were included. But if they're not, and I don't think they are, it would be sick to be able to create a custom league that you start your player career in, and you could download everybody's teams that they've made. Because everybody's going to go in and make their own custom league team, and they're going to make teams that they play in and stuff like that. It would be sick to be able to download and make your own league that you start your career in, and then you get picked up by a Sandford club, and then you get picked up by a VFL club, and then you finally make it to the AFL after like 2 seasons, 3 seasons. I think that would be sick. I would love that. I think that would be a bunch of fun. I don't want to just go straight to the AFL. That would suck. And yeah, when you get too old, it'd be sick to go and play country footy. That'd be cool too. Love it. Great idea. Don't know if they'll do it though. Hopefully they do. eTough14. Publicly subscribe to me. Thank you, my dude. I think you should be able to have more customization, like way more stadium customization, even if they just add parts of real stadium, like adding the MCG stands or something like that. Really like that idea too, because that could feed back into the historical gameplay. So you could try and make like the old 1990s MCG, or you could try and make like Waverley Stadium, Waverley Park, not stadium, and stuff like that. Amy Stadium is what I was thinking in my head. Stuff like that. That would be really fun to play. I think that they should absolutely do something like that. I think that's a great idea. I would love to be able to use certain parts of like stadiums like the SCG that have been rebuilt and redone, or like Cardinia Park, but break them down and try and make the old versions of them or something like that, you know. I'd love to have the MCG miss 2 stands so that it's like the 2004-2005 AFL season. I think that would be sick. Great comment, man. I absolutely agree with you. I highly doubt that they'll do it, though, but I do agree. Thank you, and I've liked your comment there, brother. Pete3455IFY. Make sure you follow me, brother. Subscribe. I would like some new animations like celebrations. Yes. Specky's tackling and awards, especially for the career mode. It would be sick to see your player win the Brownlow or the Coleman. I agree. As simple as having a dark background room and a tiny stage that the players, like, there's at the menu where you select your teams in the AFL23 team selection area, when you have like Dangerfield and Darcy Moore standing there, in the actual game themselves, I've seen footage, they're on a little stage. So just use that and have like a black background, put a podium there and have your player walk up. You don't even have to have, just use one of your NPCs that they've used for Cricket 24, I don't care. Put the thing around your neck, wave to the crowd and walk off. I don't even need to see a speech. I just want to see a Brownlow or a Coleman presented to the player at the end of the season, especially in career mode. I think that would be add so much more realism to it. I think that's a great idea. More goal celebrations, I agree. I've said in previous videos, I'd love to see another like 10 celebrations at least. So then you've got like 20 in rotation. I think that would be, or 20 or 30 even would be great. More specky animations, agreed. More tackling animations, especially the glitching tackles where they teleport and grab you. Hate that. Great comment, man. Appreciate you. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. We've got Geelong Fan 24. I want to see a proper coaching mode, similar to AFL Evo, where you get emails from your staff who had standout performances in the VFL Sandford and Waffle. Absolutely love that. I can't add anything to it. 100% agree. Also, where you should have an idea on who wants to leave or join your club. A player should get better stats if it has 3 or more standout performances in a row, and the opposite if they have a few bad games. Finally, I want to see a proper injury and suspensions where you can appeal for suspensions. You could appeal for suspensions in AFL Premiership Edition 2007. Let that sink in. Let that sink in, and I'm going to try and do a gameplay of that at some stage on my channel, but I remember playing as Andrew McLeod in AFL Premiership Edition 2007, getting suspended for bumping somebody, and I could appeal the decision, and I got it from like 4 weeks down to 2. How is that not in this game? Anyway, can appeal a suspension or have a risk reward for player who has an injury depending on the severity. Sorry if you had trouble reading it. I don't usually use grammar on an iPhone. Dude, it's a great idea. I appreciate it. I just hit reply on it's an automated reply, but I appreciate you, brother. Yes, looking forward to hopefully seeing some improvements in the career mode like that. I would love to see if you do have like a 1 week injury, you can either choose to sit out or you can play the game with like a -10 attributes, something like that. And then if you get re-injured, then you're out for 6 weeks. Like the NBA game does that very well. Yeah, love it. Geelong Fan 24 is back already with another one. 10 minutes ago. He's just said part 2. If I just want to see more coaching tactics where you can have different players tag as an extra down, back, or tall. For like career mode, I want it to 2KFC style career mode. Like start in the under 18s, get drafted. If you're bad, then you get delisted in the VFL, etc., etc. Also, coach insights on how he wants you to play and how he wants you to do better. I can't really add to that at all. I 100% agree. Coach feedback, you should be wanting to make your coach happy. And I'm a big advocate for that. So, yes, agreed. And there should be a little box in the top corner that has like current rating, you know, if you do turnovers or whatever, it goes worse. If you kick goals or take good marks or hit a target, it goes up. Benji, 5967. Here we go. Big one. For my suggestion / improvement, I want the game to feel more replayable. Obviously, a risk-reward system in career mode would improve replayability, but the main thing for me is actually improving gameplay. For example, I could just play standard kickoff games in EAFC forever, even the same teams over and over again. It doesn't get boring, whereas I feel like it does in AFL23. If Big Ant can somehow make just even normal games more interesting, of more exciting, I think that be the biggest win for me. I'm not too sure on the specifics, but any suggestions on what they could be would be great. Sorry about my reading just then. I've just had half a stroke. Benji, I agree, and I think it comes down to a few things. The commentary for me is a big thing as to why the game doesn't feel so realistic. The graphics, I don't have a problem with the graphics, but I need more blades of grass. I need people in the stands to be a bit more active. I need hair to move. So that's one thing that does my head in. If players don't have long hair and it doesn't move, that's really annoying. Even the jerseys don't have any flexibility. They're stuck to the players. They don't really crease very well. But I agree with that wholeheartedly. I think that the commentary is probably the main factor there. That is why the game doesn't feel replayable as much, because if you play a 5-minute quarter game, you're going to see or hear the same commentary for Hutto for the same 10 lines 10 times in that game. Just like the Rock of Gibraltar. We were joking about it on stream the other night. How many times have you guys heard that? It does my head in. It does my head in so bad. So I think you're right. I think probably the way to fix it would be some of the commentary. The NBA does it so well. Their commentary feels so real. If we could find a way to add another 20,000 lines for the commentary, that'd be great. Cody Mitsopoulos says, I think your stats should be in the top right, like 2K. Yeah, exactly. I just said that before. Like Evo 2, if you want to trade, you should be able to tell your coach, and it should be in the media for the teams to speculate on where you're going to go. And it should come up with a list of teams at the end of the season offering you rucks. And rucks don't win the Brownlow every year. Yes, and neither do Coleman medal winners. Full forwards and ruckmans do not win the Colemans unless you're Jim Steins. I agree wholeheartedly with everything you just said. Also, if teams are interested with you and you want to be traded, that should make your team morale go down. That should make your team chemistry go down. That should make players not want to kick the ball to you more. Just stuff like that. Make it harder. If you choose to leave, teams are going to be pissed. And then players aren't going to kick it to you. Tex Walker and Jake Lever, for example. Stuff like that. So, and there's also a reply. I don't know if that was me. It's not letting me see it. Anyway, all right. Thank you for your comment, brother. I appreciate it. Flag Dons, 5 yes or no, said, Flag Don 5 yes or no. New commentary lines. I can remember most lines from AFL23. Yep, just said that. Also, max out custom players because there's a certain amount of stats you can give it. So you can't be... Yes, I would love to see like a max rating of 97. Because like say the best player in the game was probably Dusty. He was like 96 or whatever when the game came out. Let's say it's Petrarca or Lockie Neal or Nick Dacos or Paddy Cripps, right? All 97. Your player, there's no way your player should be better than them. So happy to max it out. Like say you're a ruck, and a ruck's maximum could be like 95, or a ruck's maximum could be 98. And only a very specific archetype can actually get to that 99 rating. I agree with that, and I love it. Hit like there for you. Sports Time 22 said, I want to see a finals mode where you can adjust the amount of teams from 2 to 18, and you could just watch and play a March Madness style series. I 100% love that. I think that's great. Like I said the other day, I had a video where I said I wanted more customization, and that would be another thing that I would say would really contribute to that, and I think that's a great idea. Love that. Sports Time 22, thank you, dude. We got Real Shay Smithy. Welcome on back to the channel, brother. He's left me a few comments. I call it trailer 4th of May. Well, you got 5 days, 6 days, brother. Hopefully it comes out. I'm looking forward to it, but I'm not fussed if it's bad at the start. It will get better over time, and it will get better regardless. But super keen for career mode and coach mode series, and especially go to my series, The Shay Sharks. Is on his own channel. He's loving AFL23. With the marketing, it's a big ant thing. They leave everything last minute. That's how they roll. Everyone go watch his YouTube series, Shay Sharks. Appreciate you, brother. The thing I'm looking forward to is there's read more. Pretty long one. Fortnite Kid ZH8LI. The thing I'm looking forward to most is the career player. Me too, because there wasn't one in 23. Agreed. The thing that I think that would make the game a lot better is if the commentators had some very iconic moments of speech in the game, but just replace it with the player's name, like we could have BT saying, that was out of bounds, that was out of bounds. Another thing AFL23 lacked was the fact that they had no clip at the end of the season. With NBA 2K, if a player was injured, you could go into the injury history and it says personality, and it says how they were to their teammates. In GM mode as well, you can see how players like the club or teammates, which is something I think they should add. Yeah, we've kind of covered that already, but he was one of the first ones to get his comment in, so I appreciate you, Fortnite Kid. I agree with everything you just said. That was out of bounds thing. I could see getting very old. If they're gonna do a certain like classic commentary clip, there needs to be like 100 of them. You can't just have like 10 like they do now with the Rock of Gibraltar and whatever other crap ones Hutto says. I've tried to forget them all. I played without the commentary on the game for about 3-4 months for a while there. So yeah, I've tried to forget a lot of the commentary lines that they've said. All I know is I agree with you. There should be a lot more. Agree with the injury history and the GM mode stuff as well. Yep, can't really add much more of that. I agree 100%. Cooper Daly says, little niche, but left foot snaps for crafty forwards or more skilled players would be cool. Otherwise, making the career players interactive and realistic as possible, as you've covered. Yeah, I agree. I'd love that. I'm going to reply to him now. Yeah, I totally agree with that, Coops. I think that if someone has a certain skill, let's say small forward, Brian Myers has a skill level of 98, he should be able to kick with both feet in certain scenarios. And yeah, I love it. Great idea. I can't really add more to it. It should be able to kick with both feet. Really hoping you can swap teams in management mode. Love that as well. Yeah, if you get sick of playing with the club and, you know, you want to go to the Gold Coast Suns, then by all means. I agree. Really like to see the loose player in defence and tagger options introduced into the game again. Would really like to be able to play as these positions in career mode also. Love that. Floating around in the back lines. Just coming over the top of packs, punching the ball away. 100% love it. Love it. Would like the scoreboard colours to actually match what colour your team's jersey is wearing. Yes, dude. 100% agree with that. I've got a game right now. I don't know if I can show it to you. Let's bring it up to the top of Brisbane versus Geelong, right? Geelong's colour should be white in that. It's annoying that it's not. I'm trying to get Brisbane to a grand final, but you guys get the idea. Really annoying. Anyway, yes, 100% agree. Love it. Archie said, I'd like to see different scoreboards like Channel 7 and Fox. I've covered that in another video as well, but yes, I 100% agree with that. Also, make it so we can make our own custom scoreboards. That would be sick. All right, Seth's got an absolute beast of a paragraph here, so let's get into it. My easy pick is the ability to change a player's position and archetype in management mode and career mode. Management mode career. Also the ability to make custom rotations. They need to fix the potential settings. For example, a player of 70 rated still has a potential of 90 to 99 on average, which is frustrating, and you should be able to customize a custom player's potential. Also applies to real players. For example, if you have an unproven player like Harvey Johnson from West Coast and he's dropping 40 a week, he should have his rating rise and potential rise. This also means a player's rating can lower if they aren't performing and slightly decrease from injury. 100%. We've already said that tonight. I love that. If I've got a 90 rated Jeremy Cameron and he's not taking marks or kicking goals or barely touching, but barely getting a touch has been dropped, he should also have his rating fall and not rise unless he performs in the VFL or secondary leagues. Yes, agree with that. Also should have a second option to see the player stats in the secondary leagues as well. Love that. And please have SSP signings. Someone tell me what that means, because I don't really know. Stuff with the tutorial setting to better understand how the salary cap and trading works. All of this to make a management career mode to go from 3 to 10 to 9 out of 10 in my opinion. I'll back Big Ant to redeem themselves. Love it. I didn't play a whole lot of management mode. I tried it at the start and I bailed after straight away because I didn't like it. I can't really add to that. Great points. TJD2244 says, I reckon if we don't get anything by the time round 8 starts, expected delay. I can't remember the last time there's been no teasers or images a week before a game releases. Yep. Hopefully it doesn't get delayed. I agree, Alex. WBix says, and hopefully Tasmania is added into management mode when playing in 2028. Well, I think a new AFL game will probably be out by 2028, but if it's not, agreed. Not a big one, but I want the scoreboard colour to be changed based on what colour the team is wearing. Love that, 100%. We've said that one already. Love it. Thank you, HPR0. We'd like to see presentation things for Brownlow, All-Star, Rising Star, and other awards. Aussie Vince Cubes. Yep, love it. Nicholas Collins, better AI. Want to see intercept marking as a Melbourne supporter. I would love to see May and Lever getting intercept marks like they do when playing. No trailer 10 days out. I'm betting it's the same game or they delay it. Well, hopefully not, man. Hopefully not. Dundle says, I'd like to see the 2018 Grand Final scoreboard. I agree with that. That's basically the same as the AFL Evolution 2 scoreboard. But yes, I agree. I love that scoreboard. Or the ability to pick between whatever one you want, like we said before. Custom boots. Every player in AFL23 has white boots on. Alex Hristianapolis. I'm so sorry if I butchered that. Hristianapolis. I don't know. Great point. Every player in this game has white boots. Come on, give us some flair. I don't see Nick Dacos running around in white boots. The other night he was wearing orange ones. Love it. Or give us the option to edit the boots ourselves. I think that would be great. We'd love to have the ability to edit draft classes too. Would be an easy way to keep this game alive beyond its years, adding new kids in each year. Love it. Yep, Josh Jones. Great, and he's got a follow-up one too. I would love to see a bit more of a go-home factor for players who were drafted in other states. If your team isn't going well, I'd love to see players from WWA, from WA, for example, requesting trades to either Freo or West Coast. That'd be a sick feature. I 100% agree. I'm going to like it for him. I would like to see interviews after the game and the commentary section. I agree. I would like to see, even if it's text, I've said that in other videos before. I'd love to see even just text of your player standing behind a big banner that has Big Ant and has AFL and has maybe one sponsor that they have. And it just text, why did you guys lose tonight? We were shit. Thank you for your time. Just something like that. Just adds a little bit more to it. Wokade says, for Pro Team, I thought the cards didn't change enough for different versions of the cards. Having a 2024 Dice Nebel looking the same as 2014 All-Australian version and not having his dreads, or having the older versions of players having a smaller build. Also, their gem colour next to them on the field, like my team does, would be good. Yep. Wokade, 1621. I 100% agree with that. You are bang on. Yep. Think they need to update that sort of thing. Richard Capone says, was excited with a hint of skepticism. Now I'm worried. Big Ant, please give us something. Please. Declan Joyce says, be able to actually wear long sleeves or more customizable options for the player career. Agree. That would be awesome. Yeah. That would be really fun if we could do that. Matthew Buffano 9245 says, hopefully they can give a manager career mode a better layout. Yes! And it actually looks like you're coaching or running the team. Evo 2 had an inbox, training, clubs, would offer you trades. It was far from perfect, but it was way better than 23. There was also a full free agent screen with all the free agents that you were, and you were competing with other clubs to get them instead of having to search up players like you have to in AFL23, which is just a terrible layout. You would draft a ruckman who was 170 centimeters, just minor things that can make the game 10 times better. Agree with all this, absolutely right. Simple things that can make it feel so much more real and so much better. I agree so much with you there. That's a great point. EZMESM276 says, I was concerned once I saw who was doing the game, but I just wanted to be playable and enjoyable. Expectations should be as low as possible to avoid the inevitable disappointment. That reminds me of that quote from Dodgeball with Vince Vaughn. He's like, if you have expectations, you might not meet them. Now that I don't, it's like, he's like, it feels liberating, or whatever the quote was. And the chick was like, that's really sad. Yeah. Studi says, would like to see some flowing gameplay, to be honest. You can only hope that they're actually prepared to release a game. Unlike 23, with the glitches and insane momentum swings, the game's kept to a bit of a limit. It shouldn't be every day you see a kick out result in a rush behind because they kick it behind them. It's also not every day you see a team overrun you by leading by 30 at 3. Yes, dude! When you're playing on the hardest mode and you're dominating and you're up by 56 points, there's no way you should be losing that game in the last quarter. Very, very frustrating, especially if, yeah, I agree wholeheartedly with that. Would love to see a gameplay video. Agreed. I want to be able to play previous game modes like AFL26. I don't know if they'll ever do that, but I don't mind that idea. I would love to even just play like NAB Cup rules like they used to have. Going back to what we said about earlier missions, that you could do a classic NAB Cup or Wizard Home Loans game. That would be hell fun. You don't have to call it that, obviously branding and stuff like that, but, you know, night preseason or night cup or whatever they used to call it back in the day, pretty easy to work around that. Looking forward to the new game, but I'm scared it's going to be the same. Need a dynamic weather system, Montana. 100%. And shout out Daniel Turner for the comment too. Yes, dynamic weather system is an absolute must. If it's raining, I don't want it to be pissing the whole time. I want it to, like, come in waves. They did it in AFL 2007. Again, I need to show you guys that game. If you haven't played it already, you would have super heavy rain, and then it would lighten off a bit, and then it would come down really heavy again, and then it would lighten off, and then it would come down heavy again. Like, just, you know, even if it's on a timer, it makes it feel more real. I agree, 100%. Having fights, I don't need to see fights, but a bit of like bumping and pushing and shoving, 100% agree with that. Will AFL26 come out? I hope so on the store. I absolutely hope so. Gamer Bros says doing local footy before you go. Example: Eastern Rangers, and then a trial in the game if you're highly rated prospect for like maybe Richmond or Essendon's VFL team. Yep. Already said that, but I love it. 100% agree. I really want them to fix the size of the grounds. I think the stadiums always feel a bit small when the cameras are end to end. I've said that before, and I absolutely agree. And it was one of the things I criticised them on their 2010 version of AFL Live. I always thought those stadiums felt really, really, really tiny. One thing AFL 2004 did good, but also was probably made the stadiums feel too big. The players probably felt too small. If we can find that medium in between AFL 23 and, you know, AFL 2004, the sizes, that would feel better, because people in the crowd are tiny compared to the size of the players on the actual field. God, my throat's starting to absolutely drill now. Go Carlton123 AFL says, I would like to see the team lineups on the screen before you run out. Hope they put it up in the PS store. 50-metre penalties are actually like where you run forward with the ball. Again, that happened in AFL Live 2004, and I don't know why they don't have it in this game. Again, would love to see it. Haven't been excited at all. Someone putting something on Wikipedia and I got excited. Apparently it was fake. Damn it. Do you think there'll be an upgrade pack? No, absolutely not. They're going to make you buy a new game. Also, a classic mode with classic games and moments with classic teams. I think it is asking a bit much, Nicholas, but I love the idea and they should do it minus the classic teams. I would like us to be the umpire. I think that's fun. Again, probably not going to happen. Pink Panthers going in early next week, so I guess that means the game's still going to be released on the expected time. It's the 8th of May it's coming out, Mitchell. Surely they announce a couple of things in the next week in the lead up. If we don't have news by the end of this week, I'm going to lose hope. Corbett Strain says, I'm looking forward to updated AFL and AFLW jerseys. I don't know why. A lot of people are, and a lot of people love that, and I absolutely agree. I would like to be able to request trades as a player in my career and other clubs offering you contracts with the coaching career, and if you get sacked by other clubs, other clubs can come after you. Yep. Don't really have anything to add to that. We've spoken about that a bit. I love it. Great idea. I want to see real fans and crazy fans. I agree. They feel very, very still and boring. There's not a lot of movement in the crowd. If I'm looking at the game now going on, they don't move unless there's like a close-up of the end of the ground that you're at. Cricket 2002, the whole stadium, even though they were 8-bit, they were all still just moving. And it makes the game feel so much more real. Even AFL Live 2003, the crowd's doing this, right? But it still provides enough movement to make the game feel alive. Just a question, why are you wearing a Jackies fan? I did reply and tell him that I got free merch. Hey, Legend, not related, but Cricket 24, we'll skip that. Better, more realistic commentary, makes Becky's less OP, improved AI, make the ball spin faster. Yes! Make the ball spin faster. Make the more realistic ball spin. Yes, 100%. And more customizable player creator, especially for my career. Some good points. Bang. Would be surprised about delay. I'm very curious, and I hope that you can get dropped to the VFL and make it more realistic. Ribbons on the cup for grand final day is a huge one from Riley. Love that. If it's the Crows versus the Hawks, even if it's just a brown ribbon versus a navy blue ribbon, that's all I need. I don't need it to be multicolored and stuff like that. If that's too hard, one color that represents each team is fine. I feel like it'll be postponed, just a sneaky suspicion. Mitch says here, I think there should be a player rating system like in career mode, like NBA. If you have a bad game, you get an F. If you have a fantastic game, you get an A. Love that. I also hope they have extensive Guernseys. Yes, add a lot more. There's been a lot of Anzac Day, been a lot of gather round jerseys. Add them all in, besides the obvious gameplays. Yep. Do you think the game will get delayed? This is the last resort for Big Ant Studios, says Sui Generis Pia City. Fuck, I can't read. As long as it's polished and good enough, otherwise the AFL should really give the license to a different developer. Also, admin deleted my comment on the forums regarding the AFL license due to content. He says there was copy. I will like you to get to train before the game. I rate that. Religs says probably get delayed. In career mode, you can travel around. I don't really need that. I don't mind the idea. But again, let's get everything sorted first. And then the last one here is Seth, who says the game's going to get delayed. They delayed AFL23 and they delayed and will they delay AFL26? That's my concern. Agreed. Hopefully not. Wow, that went half an hour. Thank you guys so much for all your comments. This video will come out on the 30th. So make sure you guys, if you've got any extra suggestions, leave them in the comments section below. If they're absolutely groundbreaking and they've got nothing to do with any of those comments we just read out, because that's basically it. That's basically all I've got now for AFL26. We've just got to wait another week and then it's here. So I'll try and come up with some other AFL26 videos to come out in between now and then, but I'm pretty much out of ideas, guys. So thanks for watching. Hopefully you got all the way to the end. If you did, like I said before, make sure you hit that subscribe button, guys. It helps me out heaps. I appreciate all of the comments and all the suggestions. I love you guys so much. I'll see you guys very soon in the next one. And we'll be off on the 8th of May, streaming it all day. We'll see you guys then. Bye for now. Peace!